Every Halloween, my brother dresses up as a groom. It's been an obsession of his since he was 14. Every year, he'd choose to dress up in the same damn costume after he'd become convinced he had had an actual girlfriend, and for his 15th birthday, they'd become husband and wife. And then once they had both turned 18, they'd make it official. There's only one problem. The girl he has big dreams of marrying doesn't exist. We've all known for a long time that my brother Luca was rather ill. He had been diagnosed with maniac depression and schizophrenia when he had only been 13 years old. He had sworn that this girl was real and there had been no stopping him into marrying her once he turned 18. But nothing would prepare me for what was to become this Halloween once Luca told me that his love interest for a girl started when he was 9 years old. I knew that this was all bullshit the moment I heard it. Luca had simply been living a dream, a lie, to fulfill some sick delusion in which he had convinced himself that all of this was real because his mind was too deranged to allow him to live in reality like any other healthy human being. I found Luca one night, before the night of Halloween, curled up in a corner, crying. "What's wrong, Luca?" It felt like hours before Luca would respond to me, to tell me what was wrong. He did what he always did each year for Halloween, crying in a corner about some girl who simply didn't exist had become a ritual routine to him after he had sworn that dressing up as a groom would somehow do the honor for a girl who simply didn't exist. "I have to do this for her. You don't understand. I must do this for her. Part of the deal was doing this for her." I sighed, annoyed. "Luca, you're hallucinating again. You know what the doctors told you. You have to keep taking your medicine or you'll never get well. You want to be well, don't you?" "Yes," Luca responded in his usual shy-toned voice as I tried to reassure him. "You have to trust me on this, Luca. The doctors just want to help you. But you have to keep taking your medications. You'll never get well if you don't." Fast forward to the night of Halloween when attending a local Halloween haunted house. What the hell? I know what I did wasn't the brightest when taking Luca to a place like this, but I was trying to take his mind as well as mine off of the mess my little brother's life had become. Anything to keep him occupied, to take his mind off of that damn imaginary bride of his. Cut to Monday night at around 9:30 p.m. I found myself driving downtown to search for Luca after he had become separated from me at the haunted house, and he hadn't been nowhere on the premises. It wasn't often that Luca would stray while out for an occasion on his own. He was a teenager, so I didn't give it too much thought. I figured I'd find him out with some of his friends. This may have been just a typical teenager, but my brother wasn't. I can only wish these things were true. Luca was far from normal, and any unfortunate person to find a strange boy roaming the streets wouldn't play out well. I was introduced and brought back to reality from loud, wailing sirens that caught my eyes with their flashing reds and blues. I slammed on my brakes and immediately felt a cold sensation shoot throughout my entire body. I immediately ran to the scene, fighting back all of the fear my heart could stand. "I'm going to need you to step back, ma'am," an officer urged as I nearly fell to the cold ground at what I seen. It had been Luca, wearing his groomsman Halloween costume, crouched over a clearly dug-up grave, holding the remains of the clearly deceased. What the officer said next had been burned inside my mind, and it will be that way until I am dead and gone. This is the grave of Megan Carter. She died in 2016. Poor girl was bludgeoned to death when she was just 9 years old. I'm sorry, but your brother is placed under arrest for the murder of Megan Carter. His confessions explains it all, the officer said. Immediately, memories came back and hit me like no other. No other memory had haunted me so bad until this hideous truth was discovered. I was sickened. I was mortified at what I heard next. My ears couldn't process it. Back in 2016, a young girl by the name of Megan Carter had been found dead. Luca was broken at that news when he as well had just been 9 years old. I couldn't believe that I didn't see it before. All of the signs, I should have seen it.
She told me to do it, I swear. It was meant to be. She was meant to be my wife. I never wanted to kill her. I never even wanted to hurt her. But Megan was meant to be mine. It even says so. It says so in the Bible. Megan, she always liked some other boy, and it was never going to work for us. I finally did it. I could finally be with her now. Till death do you apart. Don't you remember that scripture? It took death for us to be together. It took death to happen for us to be together again. Don't you see? I can finally be with my Megan. I can finally be with my soulmate. I can finally be with the girl that I've always wanted to marry. This worked out for the better. It worked out for the better. Don't all of you see? It was meant to happen this way. It was meant to be.
A few years has now passed. My mind haunted by the sound of the police sirens that night. My family and I has since relocated and left our previous hometown, where we put our home up for sale to begin our new life. I often think about that night, but I never mention how my baby brother attacked me. Sometimes I often wonder if that was even real. Maybe my mind deceived me so many times and I got wrapped up in this illusion of my traumatic state when I wasn't exactly in my right mind. The innocence of my brother is forever lost, but those haunting memories of that night will forever taint his image, and that image will always reside within the back of my mind. I confess this now because all of the memories still haunt me. Sometime in the depths of the night, I wake up screaming and crying, having nightmares about Megan Carter being brutally murdered. The dreams are so vivid at times that I can hear her screaming, her final screams before death, screams that she'll never scream again. And then I see him. I see Luca committing the ultimate crime when he had finally bludgeoned the poor young girl to death. And then, sometime, I see me. I even have nightmares about him chasing after me to kill me. It was later discovered that Megan Carter's parents had learned the truth about their daughter's killer. I can only hope the poor girl's parents has made peace with this truth and can find the strength to finally heal and move on with their lives. But maybe that is just wishful thinking in hopes of justice for two very unfortunate victims. The sad truth is, they probably will never heal. I'm no mother. I'm not a parent, and I can only understand to a small degree to how a parent would feel to lose a child. Luca committed suicide by hanging 3 years ago while serving a 20-year sentence. I have nightmares sometimes that Luca is released from prison, that he's going to go prey on his next victim, another poor young girl. Then I wake up and I remember he's dead. Maybe after finally telling my story and the truth about what happened to Megan Carter being brought to light, I can find closure now. I can now put this whole thing to rest. Hey everyone, I hope you've enjoyed today's story. So as you know, Christmas is closing in on us, and I would like to do a special where I narrate some of my most scariest Christmas related stories. If you would like to contribute to this channel in any way, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button below. Your support truly does help this horror story podcast and all of the works that I produce. Until next time, I'm your Lady of Darkness.